Alright guys, quick little video, recording this in portrait mode so I can put it up on Instagram too and it wouldn't look all crappy. I just want to get on here and talk about government really quick and the whole thing. The government wouldn't really do that to us. That's a common thing that people say today. Okay, and I wanted to really just point out how the government is doing all this stuff to us, and because it's really said because people get this idea in their head that, oh, anyone can go work for the government. The people who work in the government are just people like you and me, and I'd say most people are good people, so yeah, they're gonna go and work for the government because they have the interest of the people in mind. Okay, why would you go work for the government unless you did? That's I don't know what people are thinking. Okay, but I know that that's the idea of what I had in my head before I started to see things. The thing with government, though, is that, let me start off by saying the root word, the etymology of the word government means mind control, okay? It comes from a Latin word, or a Latin phrase that means mind control, to control the mind, alright? And when you consider that the government is not, like a lot may think, these independent little groups and communities of people which are separated by these borders and stuff, and everyone just, there's all these different governments and all these different countries that are, just separate communities, and that's the way things played out, and that's the way that community and area of people decided to do things, is elect these people to control these things. And yeah, you think that it just happened to play out like that. No, this whole system has been designed to be set up like this, okay? When you consider that the government is owned by people at the top of the world, not just the government in the United States of America, but the government all over the place, all over the world. Every single country's got a government with centralized banking. It's owned by these international and foreign bankers. I won't say foreign, I'm sorry I said that. It's just these international bankers, these people that can create money out of thin air, okay? And what they were able to do, and I don't know how long this has been going on, but as far back in history as you can look, this kind of stuff has been going on. But they do this whole financial currency BS. That's the paradigm we're in right now, I guess. Everyone chasing this paper dollar bill as if it has any value other than what the people at the top have told us it has, okay? So they created this money, and then they gave it to all of these governments with interest, okay? Say the government, or these bankers loaned the government 50 grand, okay, and they said you had to pay 65,000 back because of interest or whatever. There was only $50,000 to begin with. $65,000 doesn't even exist. That creates an endless debt that keeps on rising because they could pay back the 50 grand, but where are they going to get the other 15,000, okay? How is that going to work? You have no choice but to borrow more money from the people who have the resources and who have the influence and the power and the control. They've had it for a long time. The same system has been going on way into the BCs and stuff like that, okay? Like we were born into something that was ongoing, and it's actually pretty intense, pretty crazy. But these people are at the top, creating this infinite amounts of debt, which has everyone underneath them, all these governments, even the people at the top of the governments, they still report up to the people, I guess you could say, in the people that loan them money, okay? And it goes higher than just these local governments in these countries, okay? You consider that there's a bunch of countries that all come together, and they're in like the UN, that you can say that's one of them, or the Trilateral Commission. Okay, these groups of countries, with people that are in there working every day at the top, and yeah, you can just imagine what's going on there, and considering the state of society, and you follow the money all the way to the top. This whole thing's being controlled. Okay, now when you consider that the government itself in every country is being controlled, all of the government funded and owned corporations inside of each and every country, the government then has influence over, okay? Why? With the power of this fake dollar bill. So people they do go up into the government, and they really, when you're born into this and you get indoctrinated like I was, like most people do, and you get taught that government is this when it's actually something completely different, and you only get the wishy-washy breadcrumbed version of like what reality actually is, because they don't teach you things like morality or natural law or about your feelings, thought, and emotions, and your present moment experience, and how how you handle things, and they really they don't set you up for life correctly. They put you in this fractured state, and they do it with the injections as well. It keeps you fractured. They do it with all the toxins that they have been perpetuating. Like I said, all the government-owned corporations are all the food places. 99% of the places that process our food that is put on the supermarket shelves, the meat industry, the dairy industry, all of the Kellogg's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all these places own almost every single food processing. All these different brands you see are all owned by like the same corporations, okay? They run the entire industry, okay? And every single industry is run like this. There's goons at the top of it that run the entire industry, and they run the market, and those are the ones that have been bought out and influenced, okay? The tech giants, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, all of them, Apple, they all have influence from the government, okay? The government-funded corporations, which means the government has influence over them. And when you consider who owns the government and who passes down information to do to the government, yeah, it's a whole fraudulent, it's all a fraud. It's a big-ass fraud. It's a big-ass game. Big-ass game of mind control, okay? They own the fucking media. The people think that if this type of stuff was going on, that the media is gonna tell them. They're gonna find the shit on the news, or they're gonna find it publicized on the internet that they created and owned. The military was or the internet was created by, at least that's what they say, it was created by the Navy some time ago. Okay, you think they're gonna? That's a platform for information. Okay, you think they're just gonna publicize and mainstream that shit on their own platform? Absolutely not. And they're actively the ones at the top who are pulling the strings and moving the chess pieces around on the chessboard are actively trying to suppress this type of information. Okay, there's actually a huge spiritual war going on behind the curtains that most individuals don't know about as they run around in their daily lives chasing their whatever preferred method of escapism, because they have yet to deal with their own internal problems because they were never taught how to deal with them. They just came up in life and realized, oh shit, I have a handful of internal problems and I don't know how to deal with any of this stuff, and I don't know why things are so fucking broken. But I guess I gotta go do this now. Maybe I need to change my ego a bit. Maybe I need to go hang around different people. Maybe I need to get this job. Maybe I need to do this. I just can't get satisfied with life, okay? Yeah, that's the thing, is we're not going to be satisfied till we realize what has happened. Till we realize what's been done to us on the inside and how we've been influenced and engineered by these social engineers to act and operate in a completely immoral fashion that has created this dark hole inside of us that we are all trying to escape from, okay? Government is illegitimate, and if we want any sort of more freedom than we want now, if we want all of this suffering to end, government has to come down, okay? Because there is absolutely no need for anybody to be governed by anybody else. Nobody has the right to govern anybody else other than themselves. That's why we are naturally sovereign beings. We are self-governing. We are able to comprehend the difference between right and wrong behavior. We don't need anyone else to tell us, okay? We should all be governing ourselves so that we can exercise our full range of rights, okay? Which is absolutely anything we could possibly imagine. You can believe what you want, you can think what you want, you can do what you want, as long as those are non-destructive thoughts, actions, and behaviors. But no, we want to fight over which rules we should be able to follow, which chains we want to wear today, which chains we want to wear tomorrow, what this person or what these people should be able to do and what these people shouldn't be able to do, and what we should all be able to do. You know, we want to sit here and fight with each other and argue with each other rather than, you know, facing the darkness in the world because it needs to be faced. It's a real thing. Regardless if anyone wants to accept that it's real, it's fucking real. And the only way we're going to figure out how it's working and get rid of it and make it so it can't sneak its way back in is to look at it for what it is and, you know, go through whatever that means going through on the inside so that, you know, we can all come through, because I'm at a point where I'm putting these messages out now, trying to get people to look at these things and to realize these things inside them and to actually, you know, get on the playing field and start helping, because I can't do this by myself, okay? And all the other people that are out there doing this, I thank God that that there's people out here actually trying to do this stuff, but there's still not enough people, okay? And the way things are going in a bad way, okay? And we really need more people out here spreading this type of information, okay? More people out here that stop the whole materialistic greed their whole entire life, and then start giving back out to society, start speaking their truth, okay? And not speaking some twisted random bullshit that's not truth, but actually, sitting down and trying to figure out what is true and what's real. And, really spreading that information, because I can't do it by myself, okay? I can sit here and make video after video after video and try and explain this grand tapestry that's been going on here, and how it ties into the deepest levels on the inside and then relates all the way out to the outside, and then tie it into it. Like, I can sit here and talk about it and say the same thing in so many different words, but I'm just a lost voice, okay? I'm just a lost voice in the mass ignorance, okay? I'm not looked at. I will never be publicized or mainstreamed for the things that I say, okay? I will continue to be suppressed like I have been suppressed, okay? And the only way we're going to get out of this is if this catches on, the truth of things catches on, and at a quick rate is what it's going to need to go at, okay? It needs to catch on. If you know these things and you see these things and you haven't tried to reach out to people, or you haven't changed your own behavior and become the beacon of light in your circle of family or friends, to at least try and put this information out, I'm sorry to say that's very cowardice, and this is a time that we need people doing this the most. We need folks that are enlightened and have the knowledge and the ability to speak about these things. Like, there's no other way it's going to transfer. Like, if it's not being said, it just gets swept under the rug. It stays the way it is. And I'm almost certain that we do not have enough time to just sit here and consider, should I say these things or should I not say these things? Should I wait? No, there's no time to wait, really. Any individual that can hear me out, really, there's something that you should be doing, I'd say. Every single one of us, every single person, there's something that you should be doing. There's a way you can change for the better and do better, okay? Whether that starts with you stopping fucking drugs, and all the way to, you having to, say things that you've come to know, these deceptions you've come to know, help people along and understand things that they don't understand. Like, the time to start healing is now. We need to get to healing fast, because, you're not going to be able to take all this you can't. This is not information that you're ever just going to get spoon-fed by one individual, okay? This takes active effort on each and every individual who comes to realize it part to sit and think and discern for themselves. And that comes with acknowledging your own soul and getting past all of those things that you've done, all of the darkness inside of you, so that you can sit in your present moment experience and, focus your attention on whatever you want, okay? You're not constantly running from yourself, alright? It'll be like being reborn into a whole new life. I've said that before in my old videos, that it was like I was reborn when I started to awaken and see things, because life was completely different. I can't even describe how the change is, really. The change in how I perceive absolutely everything I perceive. Every sense that I have, every feeling that I have, plus all the newly gained feelings and thoughts and things I could never perceive on the inside. Okay? I'm telling you, this stuff is, it's legitimate, okay? Not government, but all these things that a lot of them get labeled as conspiracy, okay? That's been the label that's been programmed into the minds of people. It gets programmed into the minds of people, and then anytime they see XYZ, it's been labeled and programmed in their head. Oh, that's a conspiracy. Oh, that's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. Because that's what some news told them, okay? They heard it for their first time. Conspiracy theorists think that this is happening, blah, blah, blah. So then any other time they see that, they just immediately go back to conspiracy, okay? They don't consider the language that's being used. They don't consider who's telling them it. They don't consider who's running the whole thing. Like, most people are not considering these things in their present moment experiences. They'll sit there and say that government is fishy, but don't really know what that means and how deep that really goes. And I can tell you it's infinite. You can look at the infinite amount of corruption in the government. If you were to start looking unbiasedly and doing the hardcore research into it, like I said, look up the bankruptcy of 1933, look up the Act of 1871. I don't know if I said that, actually. I meant to mention those things. Yes, the government is owned by international bankers, owned by people at the top. Very few people have influence over the United States government and every other government as well, okay? And this is readily available currently at this present moment to be known, okay? And I don't know how long that's going to be available, okay? These things need to be looked into. They need to be understood, because there's no way you're going to be able to get up and speak about them if you don't know. If you haven't done the research, if you haven't taken in the information and read it and discerned it and then distilled it into wisdom, into your rhetoric, you're not going to be able to just speak it fluently. Sorry I had to cut that, but yeah, people aren't speaking fluently about anything really. It's from all the toxins that cut people off. They don't realize the damage that has been done to them. Because it's painful to recognize the damage that's been done to you, because that's when you start healing. If you don't acknowledge the damage, you stay all secure as you slowly kill yourself with all these things. Like, seriously, everything that people are consuming, the food, the processed food, chemical-based food, all of the freezer foods, all of the, boxed foods, like, all these things that are processed, the animal foods, the animal products. I just did a video on carnism and natural law, and I went into the health effects of that. Like, all of these things are causing a really bad, dark, disgusting hole on the inside. Like, I don't even know the words to put to it. Okay? Not getting all carried off with this one. I just wanted to ramble for a minute. I wanted to say these things. I wanted to get across that we need more people doing this stuff. We need more people researching. We need more people being the light. We need more people getting up and, putting their face out there, okay? That's the only way it's going to change for anybody. If we keep this silenced, and if this just keeps getting swept under the rug, the control's going to keep on happening. And they're just going to switch the narrative over and over again, just like they have before. They crush down these societies, they create this chaotic state for some of them, wipe out a ton of them, and then, what's left has control, and, they can restart the whole cycle again, Hey, here's some resources with some interest, or however it's going to play out, okay? It seems to have been playing out almost exactly the same as before, just as time has gone on, we've gotten more and more technology. That's the only difference, is the technological advancements. The technology has been changing, okay? It's been the same narrative, it's the same script, just different words attached to things, different labels. The language has changed, it's constantly changing for whatever reason. It's like, we need more people looking into this stuff, okay? There's so much stuff that I've taken in. I couldn't possibly take everything that I've taken in and considered and, thought through and felt through. There's no possible way I could sit here and put everything out of my mouth, okay? And there's no possible way that the things I say are going to reach everyone's ears, okay? Or it's going to resonate correctly with everyone, okay? Because I don't have the same experiences as everybody else, okay? It's going to take a bunch of people saying these things. It's going to take a bunch of people actually saying, you know what? I am going to actually stop what I do, stop my materialistic craving, stop, wasting my time on pretty much nonsense. Like, that's what the materialism is. Just, you have your attention bought with stuff, okay? That's what all these corporations do, is they buy your attention with stuff. I explained this in my last video. Really, yeah, you gotta stop the greed, okay? And, dedicate time, be like, okay, what better thing to dedicate my life to, or my extra energy to, Because I know all of us are still enslaved. We all still got to go to work. You know, that's what I'm trying to get across. Is like we're suffering, we're forced. We're not given our rights to just live here. We didn't ask to be here. You know, I understand we still got to go to work, but I mean, other than that, you know, what other things should we be dedicating our time to other than trying to change the whole paradigm of life here for everybody so that we can all live peacefully and in a better way than what we came up in, what was already here when we got here, okay? That's the thing, is that they've made it's taught in history and portrayed in history is, yeah, things just played out like this and there's absolutely no way of changing it. Everything played out like this and we're right in the middle of it, and yeah, they don't really tell you what's going on. That's why school is a fucking intense ass indoctrination center, really. It will fuck up your worldview entirely because that's what it's designed to do. Everything about school, plus the TV, plus the news, plus everything else, yeah, like it really gives you a fucked up worldview. And if you don't know where to look, I understand this type of stuff is hard to find sometimes because you don't know where to look, like especially someone who's like, okay, yeah, I want to learn more, I want to learn about the truth, but where do I look, where do I start? You know, I understand it's hard to find some of this stuff. But it's all available out there, and really you just dedicate the time, and you know, and I don't know if my Facebook is E1337Ron. I share a bunch of stuff on there with a bunch of articles and stuff. Like, there are so many areas you can start at and then just research things. Like, if you want to use me, like I have it open in public. You can research into any of the things I share, because I'm careful with the things I share. You know, just I only share things that I've come to know as best as I can. I don't try to share, you know, political type things or stuff like that. Like, I really try and share things that I've researched myself and I've come to, you know, I've gathered my own conclusions from what I've read and witnessed. And you know, I really I could, if you were to go look at my page, it would start anyone off at anything that just caught their attention. Oh, okay, I've seen this before. Or, this kind of triggers me in the wrong way. Let me see what's being said, okay? Really follow those. When you see something that triggers you, be like, okay, well, how could this be true? Or how could this actually, is this even a possibility? You realize, yeah, all this is a possibility. All the things that are going on are a possibility that I once used to think were completely impossible. No, this couldn't work like that. The government would never do this or be a part of this, okay? Hate to break it to you, but I really don't, because we need to move this along. It's owned. The government is owned. This is all a system of design, okay? And once you can wrap your head around it, and you can wrap your head around to like how they have really molded the minds of almost every single individual, like around the world, with this reality programming that they've put into everyone's head, and then everything else reinforces it, the music, everything that they purchase, the tech giants that perpetuate all the same bullshit, the music industry, which has all the mainstream music is just absolute garbage. It's talking about absolutely nothing. Just really, it's perpetuating the division. All the movies that perpetuate the divide, you see the conversations that go in the movies, they're just disconnected conversations. It's like, I can't even watch movies anymore. It's so fucking dull. Like, no one is talking connected like it, and no one's getting anything important across. It's just spreading, like people witness these things being said, and then they take it into their hearts and souls and, you know, repeat that behavior, okay? Because most aren't thinking critically. We're in a really bad state. But really, I'll keep this short, okay? This really turned into like a 20-something minute video, but I just decided to get up on here and let some more stuff out. And, yeah, this will not be able to get put on Instagram, so I'll just have stuck with a portrait recording. And I guess I'll put up a little portion of it or something. I don't know. If anyone who listens said thanks for watching, we need help out here. The ones who are spreading this type of information. Because like the more I look at it, like I'll put out a video, and then I'll be like, alright, cool, I got some more stuff out. I put out something else. And then I go and look on the internet. I see what's still trending. I see what's still talked about. Anywhere I go in public, I see the same disconnections in people, and I'm just like, shit, this isn't working, okay? And I don't know what else to do, okay? Other than, you know, trying, and other than me trying, like, I'm doing the best I can. And that's why I said I can't do it by myself. And I know there's people out here watching that know these things and say these things and have not stood out and, you know, tried to spread this knowledge on their own. They have not become that yet. But we need it faster than ever. More people need to come speak out. And I know for sure there are lots of people up high up with power and influence that are not standing out and doing what's right out of fear, whether it be fear of death, because I know that type of stuff goes on up there, you know, with the whole soul contracts and the threats. Literally, they'll tell you in front of your face on those higher level societies, you fuck with me wrong, I'll kill you, we'll kill you, you know. It's you know, this type of stuff has been going on for so long. And people are being killed actively for repeating this, so I understand the fear, but you got to move past that at some point, okay? You're going to die at some point, and I'd rather die standing up for what's right than dying and not saying anything my whole life, okay? And just going along with it with my tail tucked and my head down. That's not the way I want to go out. As a coward, I'm sorry to say that, but it's cowardice. When you can see the deceptions, and you can understand that most of other people cannot see them, and you can feel how fucking horrible that is, because you once existed in a state that everyone else is existing in, and you know how destructive of a state that is, and you don't do anything to try and help anyone along, even if it's on a minuscule scale, even if it has nothing to do with any of the shit that goes on, like behind the curtains in the government and stuff like that. Though that stuff needs to be understood so we can, you know, get rid of it. You know, even if it's just helping people out deal with their feelings and emotions, you know, and just being able to cope with their present moment experience. You know, even if you're helping people do that, that opens the doors to understanding a lot more, okay? That opens doors on the inside that help people understand things, you know, that helps them understand, like, it could help them understand so much more than they could even know is possibly being able to understood. So it does not matter how you were attempting to heal people, okay? The main thing is really morality. If that could be got across by as many people as possible, do not do harm to people directly or indirectly. To people or other sentient life, really, just a sentient life. Do not do harm. And then you can do anything else you want, okay? That would mean if everyone in the government that was perpetuating the same harm would seize that harm, everything could stop and we could all come together and do things in a new way. That's the main thing that people need to understand, is the difference between right and wrong behavior, right and wrong actions, and then the thoughts that lead up to the right actions or the wrong actions. That's what people are so disconnected from and fractured on in the inside. They do not have their inner verse figured out yet. So whether you're helping people understand the deception on the outer world and how we've been socially engineered, or whether you're helping someone deal with their present moment experience, it goes hand in hand. It's two sides of the same coin. It's the same thing. Really, it all ties together. Everything is interconnected. Okay, you hear that a lot in so many of the communities, and it goes infinitely deep into the darkness and into the positive light side of things. Okay, I get off rambling again, but I could sit here and talk about these things forever. I could run circles around like this whole thing. Okay, and I don't have the, you know, I can't paint the whole entire picture. Like I said, I can't do it by myself. I need others to help with this, okay? But I'll keep doing my part and playing my part and, you know, letting the words come out and say whatever I gotta say. And just do my best so that at least, you know, when I die, I can say to God that I tried. If that's what I'm going to have to do, is stand in front of God, like, what did you do with all the things you've come to realize and all the lessons you learned? What did you do? I say, I fucking tried. And I know if everyone goes inside and feels that and considers at least partially some of the things, like in my last video about God and morality, and just feels that they could come to those same realizations too, is like, oh shit, I should actually get up and say some things and do some things, because I've been seeing a lot of these things and I've just been kept quiet about it, or whatever, or I'm doing immoral stuff and I've acknowledged that, and oh shit, I should really stop that. I don't know. I'm gonna cut this off here now, you know. I've been talking for like 35 minutes now, or 25 minutes. I don't know how long this has gone. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this. The government wouldn't do that to us. I don't know. Oh, they would, and they are. Don't forget.